Welcome to Engineering Out Loud. This is the 7th episode in our series on MECHESOL's MESP Engineering Development Program. And today we're tackling project guidelines and criteria. Want to boost your engineering skills? Head over to mechesolco.com/CPD. You can apply for the program or even just book a free consultation. Now today we're diving deep into what makes a successful engineering project. We'll be uncovering those guidelines and criteria that separate the good from the truly great. We're talking everything from project scope and design standards to how teams work together and handle changes. These might seem like behind-the-scenes details, but trust me, they're absolutely critical for making a project a success. And to help us unpack all of this, I've got our expert here with me, ready to get started.
Absolutely. Let's break it down.
Okay, let's jump right in with project scope. Sounds pretty basic, but I'm guessing there's more to it than meets the eye.
You're absolutely right. Defining the boundaries and deliverables of a project that's crucial. It's like creating a really detailed roadmap. Think about it. You wouldn't set off on a cross-country road trip without a map, would you?
Definitely not.
A well-defined project scope makes sure everyone's on the same page, from the engineers to the stakeholders. Everyone understands the goals, the destination, and the steps to get there.
That makes perfect sense. Without a clear roadmap, you're bound to get lost or end up somewhere you didn't intend to be.
Exactly. Just like a roadmap helps you avoid those wrong turns. A clear project scope prevents what we call scope creep. It keeps everyone focused, and ultimately, it's a big contributor to the project's success.
So we've got a roadmap, our project scope. What's the next essential ingredient for a successful engineering project?
Next up, we have design standards. These are the industry-specific rules and specifications that guarantee quality, uniformity, and reliability in a project. Imagine building a bridge. You wouldn't want to cut corners on the materials or the construction methods right.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
A bridge built to subpar standards is a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. Adhering to those established design standards ensures that your project is safe and functional, but also that it's recognized and respected globally. It's all about building things that meet the highest benchmarks of quality and performance.
So we've got a clear scope and solid design standards. What's next on our checklist for engineering success?
Collaboration. Even the most brilliant engineer can't do it all alone. Effective teamwork is essential for tackling those complex projects.
Makes sense. So how do we ensure smooth and effective collaboration within an engineering team?
It all comes down to establishing really clear collaboration procedures. This means defining roles and responsibilities, setting up communication protocols, and fostering a shared understanding of how everyone works together. Think of it like an orchestra. Each musician plays their part, but it's the conductor who brings them all together to create a harmonious symphony.
I love that analogy. But even the most well-rehearsed orchestra can hit a wrong note right. Projects can face unexpected changes too. How do we deal with those curveballs?
That's where change management comes in. It's about having a structured approach to handling those inevitable plot twists, the ones that pop up during a project.
So it's about being adaptable, being able to adjust course without losing sight of the destination.
Precisely. A well-defined change management process outlines how to assess the impact of changes, whether it's the scope, the schedule, or resources, and how to make informed decisions to keep the project aligned with stakeholder expectations. It's all about minimizing disruptions and ensuring that even with unexpected detours, we still reach that desired destination.
This is all super insightful. I feel like we're building a solid foundation for understanding what goes into a successful engineering project. Want to hear more about how to achieve engineering excellence? Visit mechesolco.com/CPD to register for the MESP Engineering Development Program today.
Now let's dive into some more critical aspects of project success, starting with project scheduling.
Ah, yes, the trusty timeline. That keeps everyone on track and helps us avoid those dreaded project delays. What are some key considerations when it comes to developing an effective project schedule?
A well-defined schedule outlines those key milestones and deadlines. It's like the backbone of project planning. Make sure the project stays on course and keeps those stakeholders informed about the progress. Imagine building a skyscraper. Each stage, from laying the foundation to erecting the steel frame, needs to happen in a specific sequence and within a set time frame.
That's a great analogy. A well-structured schedule is like a blueprint for the project's timeline, ensuring that everything falls into place smoothly and efficiently.
Exactly. And speaking of ensuring things are done right, let's move on to quality and safety assurance processes. These are paramount in any engineering project.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want to create something that works flawlessly, and most importantly, keeps people safe. So how do we guarantee that our project meets the highest quality and safety standards?
It involves continuous monitoring and maintenance. of the project's quality throughout its entire life cycle. Think rigorous testing inspections and adhering to best practices. Remember the Tacoma Narrows Bridge
A
collapse.
chilling example indeed.
That's a stark reminder of what can happen when quality and safety are compromised.
It highlights the crucial role of thorough testing
Hmm,
and meticulous adherence to safety protocol.
precisely. Now, to bring these quality and safety measures to life, we need to talk about resource allocation.
This is where we ensure we have the right materials, tools, and people to get the job done right.
Spot on. Effective resource allocation involves strategic distribution of everything from raw materials and software to, most importantly, human capital. It's like a game of chess. Each piece has its role, and deploying them strategically is key to winning the game.
I see. So it's not just about having enough resources, but also about utilizing them intelligently and efficiently.
Exactly. Now, to keep all these resources moving in the right direction, and to ensure everything's up to par, we need a robust system of review and approval.
Ah, yes, the checks and balances that act as our quality control checkpoints throughout the project.
Think of it as a series of quality gates throughout the project lifecycle. At each gate, stakeholders can assess progress, identify potential issues, and make informed decisions. This ensures that the project stays aligned with the initial vision and meets all the requirements.
This is all incredibly helpful, but I imagine keeping track of all these elements can get pretty overwhelming, especially for large-scale projects.
It definitely can be. But remember, for comprehensive training on all these aspects and more, visit mechesolco.com/CPD to learn about the MESP Engineering Development Program.
Great advice. But we're not done yet, listeners. There's more to uncover in the world of project guidelines and criteria.
So let's shift gears and talk about those critical evaluation criteria, starting with performance requirements.
That's right. Performance requirements are the specific targets that the project just has to hit. In terms of functionality, efficiency, and overall output, think of it this way. If you're designing a brand new electric car, those performance requirements would cover things like its range on a single charge, its acceleration speed, and top speed. These are the quantifiable measures of how well the product performs its intended function. It's like setting the bar for success right, making sure the project doesn't just exist, but it actually delivers on its promises.
Exactly. And to make things a bit more challenging, those performance targets always need to be achieved within certain constraints.
Ah, yes, the ever-present reality of budget constraints. Not the most exciting aspect, but a crucial one, right?
Absolutely. Budget constraints are the financial boundaries that the project has to operate within. It's about making those smart choices, allocating resources wisely, and finding creative solutions that meet both the project's ambitions and the financial realities. Think of it like a puzzle. You have a limited number of pieces your budget, and you have to assemble them in a way that creates the complete picture of your project.
That's a great way to look at it. It's about finding that sweet spot where innovation meets financial responsibility. But let's not forget about the long-term picture. What about durability and reliability?
These are essential for making sure the project stands the test of time. Durability that refers to the product's ability to withstand wear and tear, while reliability focuses on its ability to consistently perform well over its intended lifespan. Think of a wind turbine. It needs to endure some harsh weather conditions and operate reliably for years, if not decades, to be considered a success.
So it's about building things to last, not just for the short term, but for the long haul.
Exactly. This involves using high-quality materials, robust engineering practices, and rigorous testing, all to ensure that the final product can withstand those rigors of its intended environment and function reliably over time.
It's clear that building a durable and reliable product requires careful planning and execution. But what about optimizing its performance and resource usage? Where do efficiency targets fit into all of this?
Efficiency targets, they're all about maximizing output while minimizing waste. This includes things like reducing energy consumption, minimizing how much material you use, and streamlining processes. Think of it as making the most out of every input. A great example is designing an engine that generates more power while using less fuel.
So it's about achieving a balance between performance and sustainability, right?
Precisely. It's about creating solutions that are not only effective, but also resource-conscious and environmentally responsible.
I'm really starting to see how all these elements work together to create a truly successful engineering project. But we haven't touched on one crucial aspect because the end user. What about user experience?
Ah, yes, user experience.
Well,
This is where we consider the human element in engineering. It's about designing products that are not only functional, but also intuitive, enjoyable, and easy to use. Think of your favorite smartphone app. It's likely not just functional, it's also visually appealing and easy to navigate. That's good user experience in action.
So it's not just about what a product does, but also how it feels to use it.
Exactly. A positive user experience can make a product more appealing, more effective, and ultimately more successful. It's about understanding the needs and behaviors of the people who will be using the product and designing with those needs in mind.
It sounds like user experience is becoming increasingly important in today's tech-driven world.
Absolutely. But alongside usability, we also need to foster innovation and creativity. These are the driving forces behind those truly groundbreaking
Oh,
projects.
yes, the spark that sets exceptional projects apart from the ordinary. How do we cultivate those qualities within engineering teams?
It's all about encouraging engineers to think outside the box, challenge assumptions, and explore unconventional approaches. It's about creating a culture where those new ideas are welcomed, experimentation is encouraged, and failure is seen as a learning opportunity.
So it's about fostering a mindset that embraces risk and pushes the boundaries of what's possible.
Precisely. But even the most innovative idea needs to be grounded in reality. And that's where manufacturability comes in.
Right? We need to be able to actually build the thing we've designed and do so efficiently and cost effectively.
Exactly. Manufacturability focuses on making sure that the design can be produced at scale, without any major hiccups. This involves considering those available manufacturing processes, materials, and technologies early on in the design phase. It's about designing for practicality and efficiency, making sure that great idea can actually be transformed into a tangible product.
So it's about bridging the gap between a brilliant concept and a real-world product.
Precisely. And finally, no project can be considered truly complete without thorough testing and validation.
This is where we put our creation through its paces to make sure it can handle the real world right.
Exactly. Testing and validation involve rigorously evaluating the product against its performance requirements, its safety standards, and user expectations. This includes everything from lab tests and simulations to real-world field trials. Think of it as the quality assurance check before a product is launched into the world.
So it's about leaving no stone unturned to ensure that the product is safe, reliable, and performs as intended.
Precisely. Thorough testing and validation are crucial for mitigating risks, identifying any potential issues, and ensuring that the final product meets the highest standards of quality and performance.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. It's clear that successful engineering projects are built on a foundation of carefully considered guidelines and criteria, from defining the scope and managing resources, to prioritizing user experience and ensuring manufacturability. Each element plays a crucial role in shaping the project's trajectory and ultimate success.
It's like a complex recipe with many ingredients, each contributing to the final flavor of the dish. And just like a master chef, a skilled engineer understands how to blend these elements harmoniously to create a truly exceptional outcome.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Engineering Out Loud. If you're feeling inspired to level up your engineering game and master these project guidelines and criteria, then head over to mechesolco.com/CPD to explore MECHESOL's MESP Engineering Development Program. It's packed with insight, strategies, and real-world case studies that'll empower you to tackle any engineering challenge with confidence and precision. Thanks for tuning in, and keep engineering out loud.